Edinburgh, the historic capital of Scotland since 1437. A city of history, culture, and its dramatic volcanic landscape, famous for its medieval old town and Edinburgh Castle. What's up, adventurers? I'm TJ Garland, your quest companion in all realms of stories told, relics made, and roads traveled, and this is the rocky road to Relics, and this historic fortress dominating the skyline from a volcanic rock is our first major relic. Its main attractions, besides the castle itself of course, are the Royal Mile, a historic street connecting Edinburgh Castle to Holyrood Palace, and Arthur's Seat, an extinct volcano offering panoramic views of the city. But first, let me backtrack here. Let me rewind a second. Do you remember in episode 0, when I specifically said, of course, fate rolls the dice, so things can go wrong. Yeah, so we landed in Edinburgh and we instantly lost. I'm kidding. We didn't lose our child because we're not shitty parents. No, the very first thing that happened when we landed was we lost our cell service. So we've made it to Scotland. Our first obstacle is our phones don't work. We don't have any cellular service, so we're kind of just winging it right now and copying maps. That's how our epic Scottish adventure began, with a trip to Starbucks for free Wi-Fi and dragging our suitcases around like we're fleeing Mordor, which means my child got the full 90s kid experience. You know, getting lost with your parents while on vacation and watching them go full Griswold.
It's a quest. It's a quest for fun. I'm gonna have fun, and you're gonna have fun. We're all gonna have so much fucking fun we'll need plastic surgery to remove our goddamn smiles.
Eventually, we discovered an eSIM option called, well, it's an app. It's called Holofly. And honestly, if you don't need to make phone calls, it's kind of a better deal anyways if you have Comcast. The roaming rates suck. After taking the tram and using an actual picture of a map, we managed to hike it out to our hotel and find it the old-fashioned way. Exhausted, triumphant, dehydrated, back sore, and feet hurting, we arrived at last to this gorgeous historic building, which is adorable until you realize historic buildings sometimes come with historic staircases. No elevator. You need help, honey? And our room, naturally, of course, was like 4 flights up. Hey, look at the bright side. We're on the top floor, so that's cool. No elevators, so we're just...
25, should be over there.
No, this isn't 25. We gotta go up one more floor.
What? We're only on the second floor. That'd be good.
All right, yep. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. How you doing, honey?
I know you're right now. He's carrying an 80
Once we got settled though, we popped some ibuprofens like they were health potions, and we went back out to see some sights before dark and eat our first Scottish meal. Everywhere there was stone and Gothic architecture. It was so beautiful. We were so in awe and admiration of everything. We forgot we were even in pain. We ended up going into this restaurant called The Whiskey Shop, and that's where I tried haggis for the first time. All right, so when in Scotland, we do Scotland things, and one of the prized dishes of the Scottish is haggis. So we're gonna try an actual Scottish haggis for the first time. It's very mushy. Now listen, I know this is going to upset some ancestors out there, but it wasn't like bad. It just wasn't good. It's not bad, it's unique. There's a strong suggestion of a ketchup flavor to me. Yeah, I don't need to eat this again. Look, I even tried like giving it to my daughter, letting her have a bite, get her opinion. If you want to try some, you can.
How do you do it?
What do you think? Honestly, it tasted like Cheetos and ketchup got into an argument and became like this meat wad. I don't know. After dinner, we wandered over to Victoria Street, where some would say it was the influence of Diagon Alley. Now, I'm not saying it is Diagon Alley, I'm just saying my wand hand got a little itchy. We eventually made an entire loop around the volcanic mound of the castle, only to find ourselves in a place that started making my wife feel a little uneasy. Like, we started feeling a little bit like we were lost. To be fair, it was getting late and we were really trying to find our way back to Princess Street so we could get back to the hotel, because the trams, they don't run all night.
Are you sure? Because we're getting farther and farther away from civilization kind of stuff. It's deeper and deeper into this territory.
What was cool was we found these stone stairs, and it was like this really cool pathway that reminded me of the path of Kirith Ungol. It's not that scary, it's just an old dark tunnel. Oh, look, a stairway. Come on. Up the stairs we go. Kirith Ungol is a passage in The Lord of the Rings that leads through the Eiffel Dweith, aka the Outer Fence, or Mountains of Shadow, a mountain range that makes up Mordor's western and southern borders. Anyways, Kirith Ungol, the Spider's Cleft in Sindarin language, is a pass reached by several steep steps up the north cliff face of the Morgul Vale, located near Minas Morgul, aka the Tower of the Black Arts, formerly known as Minas Ithil, the Tower of the Moon, the easternmost fortification of Gondor, which safeguarded the eastern borders of the realm and protected the capital Osgiliath from the forces of Mordor during the early part of the Third Age. So those stairs reminded me of that. And of course, me being a nerd, we had to go up them.
Do this.
Hobbits, follow me. I have no idea what we're doing, but this is so cool.
This is day one. Whose idea was this?
We reached the top. And the best part is it actually was a shortcut back to Princess Street. So yes, nerd instincts occasionally are useful. The next morning we had the hotel's Scottish breakfast. After that, we checked out of our hotel, and because we were heading to Glasgow later, we needed somewhere to stash our luggage before storming the castle. So, well, here's a pro tip for you. A lot of tourist cities have luggage storage services. So we found one, we dumped our bags, and just nearby, we immediately found one of the best named coffee shops on earth. Throat Punch Coffee. And once we walked in, we discovered it had dogs. He's a puppy. We're gonna go get coffee at this Throat Punch coffee place because it's called Throat Punch.
We're being greeted.
Hey, buddy. Oh my gosh, there's puppies everywhere. Like dogs lounging around like they own the place, which to be fair, they probably did. So we caffeinated, we pet puppies, we were emotionally healed. Then we marched up the mountain to the main relic, Edinburgh Castle. On the way up, we accidentally wandered through this open gate into a courtyard. The sign said School of Divinity, but I'm pretty sure we walked straight into frickin' Hogwarts. Holy cow. And there's this statue there, which is literally the founder statue. And I mean, I'm not saying it's Dumbledore. I'm just saying if it starts giving out house points, I'm transferring. Okay, yes, I'm saying it's Dumbledore. 100%. This place was Hogwarts. When we finally arrived at the castle, there's this huge parade deck in front of it atop the giant volcanic mound known as the Esplanade, where you can see the entire city before you on either side. So here it is, Edinburgh Castle. We're about to go on the tour. I just want to say that this thing is not going to be doing it any justice on camera. You just have to see it for yourself. Between all the ghosts that linger inside this castle, the amount of wars and the people who have been executed, the kings that have come through and passed, this thing has seen more adventure than a D&D campaign. Built on top of an extinct volcano, also known as Castle Rock, or Castle Rock?
You want Castle Rock?
It is mine.
At the castle, we did the royal tour. Headsets, audio guide, the whole thing. We made it through the portcullis. That's further than any attacking army has ever done. What was really cool is when we got into what is known as the Crown Square, our tour guide, Jacob, did an amazing job explaining in detail what was what.
Okay. This is where the royals would have once lived when they came to Edinburgh Castle. Typically speaking, Edinburgh
Although
Castle...
Robert the Bruce, he's out front. That was a Victorian edition again, right?
Oh, yeah.
He never actually stayed here. Okay.
No, he never came to Edinburgh Castle at all during his
All
life.
right. So right there, yeah, that's Robert the Bruce. And then I think that's Mel Gibson. And they house the crown jewels in there?
They do, yep. So just straight through that door, you have the honours of the kingdom as they're known collectively. That's the crown, sword, and sceptre.
Which we can't get any photography of in there, rightfully so. We don't want anybody to try and steal anything or plot anything, right? So yeah, that was our tour guide, Jacob. And dude, Jacob, if you're watching, again, you were an excellent tour guide. Thank you so much for taking time out of your normal schedule to do that personal walkthrough in the square. There's so much to explore in the castle, but I don't want to spoil everything for you guys. Eventually, we made our way to see the Honours of Scotland, aka the Scottish Crown Jewels. However, as Jacob mentioned previously, there's no recording, and honestly, that's kind of the point, right? The whole reason you go on these trips is because some things can't be fully captured through a screen or a lens. I want you to feel the itch to go adventuring yourself, because some relics refuse to be copied. They demand a pilgrimage. Along the way, we hit St. Giles Cathedral, which is just a medieval masterpiece. The current building begun in the 14th century and kept expanding into the early 16th century. I would totally be a Catholic if this is where I had to come to church all the time. It feels like the halls of Moria, like. Before finally saying goodbye to Edinburgh, we had to visit the Scott Monument, a 200-foot Victorian Gothic tower dedicated to Sir Walter Scott. We didn't get to go up to the top of it, but evidently that's a thing you can do. They just had maintenance going on, but it didn't matter. Just to be up close to it and see its beauty was enough for us. And to be honest, the Scott Monument was the perfect send-off to leaving Edinburgh. The tower itself, it was waving goodbye to us every time we looked back. Edinburgh was not enough time. If Scotland is a book, Edinburgh is a chapter you dog-ear because you know you're coming back. So, after saying goodbye, we grabbed our luggage, headed for the train station, and took off for Glasgow to rest up for Stirling. But that is the next episode. So stay tuned, like this video, hit subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.